have two different grips. Like, you set up differently for legato than you do for Eastern State March. Did anyone notice that? Like, there were two completely different setups. Let me see your setup for Eastern State March. Okay, now, well, as if you're going to do the alma mater. Can you set up for that one? Yeah, you're doing, like, when I watch you conduct the alma mater, I'm watching this the whole time. It was turned over like this the whole time. Did anyone else notice something along those lines? So this is what I was looking at. But on Eastern State March, I wasn't looking at that at all, because you had a little gooseneck going on. So I was looking at that. So it was, wow, those are two very different. Way to go, you've got a lot of facility. All right, so now you can use those kind of gestures, but you have to make them specific to a certain sound you want. So the default should be something a little bit different than both of those things. So let me just see your setup. How does that look? Because the difference is this, which is what you're kind of doing before, or that, which is the other thing. Maybe that's a little exaggerated, but right about there is what you're doing before. So you want this to be pointing that way. Now, can you try Eastern State March and just make sure that you tap down each time so that we do a two pattern? There you go. Good. Does that feel different? Mm-hmm. Okay, give it a try. Eastern State March.
We are loyal, you were loyal and true. Though the odds be great or small, we'll still be cheering you. Rah, rah.
Okay,
So
good. So what did you notice ensemble when I pulled him back a little bit? Anything? Did you see what he did?
Yeah.
He did the ski jump. You know, have you ever watched ski jump?
Yeah.
They like jump off the thing and then they lean forward. It's so cool the way they fly through the air. So you had a little bit of that going on, like where you're leaning forward, so you just want to be able to lean back. Because this looks a little bit like, hi, I'm in your face. I'm going to mess with you, right? But if you're more like this, then it's more, you're accepting their sound. Okay, this was much, much better. Good. Go back. What happened to the first sound in the alma mater?
They had no idea.
What do you mean?
I think it was timid.
Do you know why? Why were you timid?
Yeah.
I was like, you're thinking, oh no, they definitely did a pitch.
I realized that when I turned the page and looked at Keegan, and he was just smiling.
Can you start the alma mater again and
Yeah.
have Keegan give us a picture?
for us a rose thy walls and towers, their beauty, strength, and grace are.
Okay, do this. Turn it over, balance, touch, and let it sit in there in your hand. Now flip it over. Okay, that's what you're not doing. You're letting it float.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it starts to float, that's when you get into this sort of a thing. So you want to keep it so that your pinky and this finger, these are all touching the palm of your hand very gently. Can you try again with that in mind? And this might mess up some other things that you're doing, but I really want you to just focus on that for a second. Okay.
For us a rose thy walls and towers, their beauty, strength, and grace are.
Okay, stop. So that's better in terms of your embouchure right here. Okay, that's much, much better. Good. Now can you just touch gently? Remember we've talked about this, just paint the fence this way, pet the kitty, because there's like a little whippy thing in each gesture that you give. So just paint the fence. More slowly painting. There you go. Good. Good. Now go side to side. Good. Now just do 4-4 with no speed up in the gesture. Look at the tip of my baton. But my wrist is still moving, just not in a whippy, like fast breaking way. Just touch. Right here. Watch this. Touch. Touch. Pull. Good. Now go the other way. Yes, there you go. Do you see a difference, guys? Another, you can move like this slowly, or you can move like this. I mean, now I'm just like flapping my wrist. So you want it to be a controlled up, pull down. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
Give it a try. Experiment with it. Beginning of the Watch the tip of your baton.
Strength and grace are ours.
Keep going.
Prayer is at thy feet.
See how there's no like.
Loveliness give me.
Wrap your fingers around. There you go. Okay, stop. So you start to do weird things with the baton when you let your fingers release like this. That's when things go a little bit haywire and you start doing this thing. When you do this, you don't do this at all when you wrap those fingers around. So keep that in mind. Okay, good job, Eric.